Hi all, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see a class. We are going to see what is a class, what are the members in the class, what are the difference between two members called data member and member functions. And later, we are going to see what is an object and how we are going to declare an object. So let us see with the first one, which is class. So we have seen class in different examples in the previous sections. Let us see this in more detail. So it says class is a template. Normally a class contains member within two curly braces, whatever you do right, which is going to make the member of a class. And we have got two kinds of members. One is data member, other one is member functions. So we define the data fields and methods of the object. So as I told, class is going to give you a template. So what we can do is we can access the data members using the member function. So data field is also known as instance variable. So please do remember we call it as data members or instance variable, which has got two names. A class, once it is defined, which is used to create objects, or we can create objects, and we call it as instantiating the classes. So let me make it clear. Once if you have created a class, we need to create an object of the class. So using this object and using the methods, we can access the data members, and this data members we also call it as instance variable. So let us see the general form of a class. So normally every class starts with the keyword class. You could see here. So which is having the keyword class. Later you have to give, after this you have to give the class name. The class name can be of any name. It's an identifier. And whatever you do right inside these two braces, which frames or which forms the class. Okay, and if you look into this detail, where you can find the variable one, we call it as instance variable, and you have to give the type for this. So this way you can have any number of instance variable. Once you have done with the instance variable, you can have any number of methods. Look at this. So you can have method 1 to method n, and you have to give what kind of value this is going to return. So you can give it as type. The type can be any of the primitive data types, and you can give the parameters. If your function or your method does not take any parameters, so you can leave it as empty bracket. So this is what a general form of a class. Okay, so let me repeat. The class contains two categories of members. One is instance variable, other one is method. Next, let us so please also remember the data or the variable which is defined inside the class, we call it as instance variable. So the methods and variable defined within a class, we call it as members of the class. So these two things you should remember. So for example, you can see a class. So we have taken the class uh, name as A, where you can find a variable or data member, and we call this as instance variable. And you can also find a method called add. So this we call it as a member function or member method, and whatever you do right inside these two braces, which is going to make the body of the method. So this is what the entry point your class starts and which ends here. So we have successfully created a class with one instance variable and one method. Let me repeat. This variable or data we call it as instance variable, and this function inside the class we call it as method. So let us see a small program which is going to calculate area of a rectangle. So as usual, we are going to start with the class. After this, you have to give the class name. So class, and we have taken the class name as a rectangle. And whatever we do right inside these two braces, which is going to make the member of the class. So as you could see, your class starts and which ends here. So everything inside the class is going to be the member of the class. So we have two variables. We call it as instance variable or data members, and they are length and width. So both are of type integer. So this type can be of any type like int, float, character, which can be of any primitive type. So next we have a method called get data. So this we call it as method. Method is nothing but function, and this is going to create the body of the method. So we have got another method called rect area, so which is going to find what is the area of the rectangle. So what it does, that is secondary for us at this stage. So we have created a class called rectangle with two different category of members. We have two members which belongs to instance variable or data members, and we have two methods. One is your get data, other one is rect area. So let us see another class, and we have taken it as rectangle area, where this is what the body of rectangle area. So whatever we do right inside the class is going to again, which is going to make, or which is going to be the members of the class. So let us see what we do inside this. So we have taken a method called main. So I hope you remember. So you can have any number of classes in a file, but we should make sure that only one class have got the main method. So if you look at the first class rectangle, there is no method called main. So there we have only two method. One is get data, other one is rect area. So there is no other method for this. And look at the second one. The class is rectangle, where we have got the main method. So this is what main is going to do. This is what the body of the main. So where I've created an object of the class rectangle. Look at this. Rectangle is the other class. Rectangle, rectangle. RECT1 is an object which I've created, and we use an operator called new, which is going to allocate memory for the object. So this is the place where the object creation takes place. So let me repeat. Rectangle is the class name. RECT1, rect1 is the object which I have created, and new is an operator which is going to allocate the space for the object which is created very recently for RECT1. Okay, and rectangle is the constructor. So which is going to call what you call, which is going to create an object called RECT1, and when we create an object, every data member in the class is going to get its own space. Now what happened, when I create this object RECT1, so we'll be getting two blocks, one for length. So let us see, this is for length, uh, and this is of type 4 bytes, and for width I'll be getting another 4 bytes. So this is going to be my rect one. So I've got 8 bytes of space. Now let us see the next statement, where I've used the object RECT1 and get data. So get data is a method which is inside the other class. So I'm going to pass this to us the parameter. So calling method using object with dots. Look at this. We have used object with dot, and get data is a method which is inside the class rectangle. I'm talking about this. I'm going to pass this to as the parameter. So next I've created another you know created another variable called area1, and this is assigned to the value which is returned by this method called, which is nothing but rect1 dot rect area. So rect area is nothing but which is going to call this method. So initially what happened, your get data is going to be 10, 20. So what happened, x X is going to be 10 and y is going to be 20, which is nothing but length is going to be. So this rect1 dot get data is going to take two parameters, which is 10 and 20. So obviously your length is going to be 20, which is your x value. Sorry, this is going to be 10. This is not 10, 20. And this is your y is going to be 20. So width is going to be 20. So this is just 10. Okay, so we have initialized the values, and look at the next statement. I've created a variable called area1, which is of type integer, and we are using a same object to access the second method. And what is second method? Rect area. So rect area is the one which is going to find the area of the rectangle. So what happened? Return length into width. So what is the length we assigned, which is 10, and width is going to be 20. So this value will be returned to this function. Now area one gets a value which is 200. So what we do in the next statement, we are going to print the area one. So what happened? This area one will be printed as it is. After this, we have an equal statement, and which is going to concatenate two string. Area one is within the double quote. So whatever I do give inside the double quote, which is going to print as it is, and whatever the value area one gets or got, which will be printed as it is. So finally, we will have a statement area one equal to is missing here, which is going to be 200, right? So let us see more about how to create instance of class, or please do remember the class instance, we call it as object. So let us see how we can create. So if you look at the screen, we have created two objects. One is a rectangle 1, other one is rectangle 2, rect1 and rect2. So we have successfully created two objects. So this is what the class name. This is my first object, which is equal to new and the rectangle. This is what the constructor. We'll see about the constructor later. So for the timing, please remember this is a way we create object. So we have not created one object. We have created one more object, which is rect2, and new is operator, which is going to allocate space for this, and this is what the constructor. So when I do this, please remember I'll be getting space for two objects. So this is going to be my rect 1. I'll have space for my second object. So this is going to be my rect. This is my rect 2. And if you see the previous class, our class called rectangle, so which is having two portions. One is 4 bytes for length and 4 bytes for width. Same way for the second object, we are going to get 4 and 4. So this is the length and this is for the width. Again, this is for the length and this is for the width. So every object is going to have its own space for the data members. So if you look at the screen, we have created two objects. One is rect1 and rect2. So please do remember every object is going to have its own space in the memory to accommodate or to store the data member, right? So we have created two objects using the new operator, and please do remember we have to make use of the operator called new, which is the one which is going to create the object. So new operator normally allocate the space dynamically, and which is going to return a reference to the object. And in Java, all class objects must be dynamically allocated. Why? Because in Java we have a feature called garbage collection. So because of this, everything, all the memory will be allocated dynamically. So there is another way of declaring objects. One is the first one we have seen already how we can do it using the new operator, and the second way we just have a reference. What we have seen all these days, we'll just write the class name and we are going to give the object name. And please do remember, when we do this, there will not be any space for the RECT1. Your system will not allocate any space. Normally, what happened? Just I told RECT1 is going to get 8 bytes of space, but if you write only the first statement like this, no memory will be allocated for this. So what you should do is, once you have done with the first statement, you have to write again RECT1 is equal to new rectangle. When we do write the second statement, your system is going to allocate 8 bytes for your RECT1. So this is alternative way of doing. Okay. So let me repeat. So this is same as the first statement, where I have combined the allocation and declaring a reference to the object. Both the statements are combined in a single statement. So this is about creating instance or declaring the object. So let me repeat. Object, if you create only, memory will be allocated. So objects are nothing but the class variable.